The 580th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 100 times your entry with the Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Sign up today with promo code MMASGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer of up to $250 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN.
Howdy ho to Generinos. Welcome to episode 580 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Our little babies are already 580 years old. This episode is dedicated to Shamrock, who we may or may not be talking about today. He's fighting on the Octagon card we're covering, but the main reason is because his name really tickled one of our bosses, Ryan Kramer. when my co-host Gumby was on the Mothership show, he mentioned Octagon, and good old Kramer noticed the name Shamrock, and it jumped out at him. So this goes out to Shamrock and to our bosses, of course. Every episode goes out to them. Thanks for coming to the show. I'm one of the bosses' minions. That would be Jeff. I guess I go by Chalks today. Jeff Chalks Fox. Thanks for coming to the show. It's one of our world famous regional MMA episodes. All you YouTube heads enjoy these episodes. Thank you. Keep it coming. This is for Octagon, a low-key favorite of a lot of our listeners and viewers we have discovered. So we are going in and trying to cover every Octagon event that we can, and they have one coming up this coming weekend, June the 8th. So we're going to be covering that. It's got some familiar names on it. Even if you've, are just like a long-time UFC viewer, you will recognize some names on this here fight card. But I have someone who knows every name on this fight card. Well, we're only going to cover, the five out of the 9 fights in full here, but I'm sure he knows all 18 people that are on this fight card. That would be the regional MMA Messiah himself, Daniel Gumby Vreeland. Hello.
First of all, as a friendly reminder to all of you guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page. When I mentioned it at the beginning of episodes, our subscribers go up. We are putting up really good numbers for that right now. But even if you don't want the notifications, you can turn the notifications off. Just hit subscribe. It will change your life. Not at all. It will change our life for the better. So we much appreciate all of that. Secondly, if you guys love regional MMA content, this weekend is loaded up with regional MMA. We're going to be talking about Fury FC tomorrow, but we've already broken down Cage Warriors, LFA, and KSW. So you can go back and listen to those episodes. We've given out at least 5 picks for all of them, plus lightning rounds for all of them as well. So that's already 15 picks in your feed. We're going to add 5 more today, 5 more tomorrow. That's 25 regional picks for this upcoming weekend. Some big, juicy underdogs. So make sure to go back and listen to all of that as well. I had a train of thought that, I was going to say, I interrupted myself there. But you mentioned that I probably knew a lot of these guys on the card. This is the other thing I'm growing to love about Octagon MMA is that, so a lot of these regional shows, they've got guys getting plucked up or, moving to a different organizations. We broke down a fighter probably in the co-main event of Cage Warriors this weekend who's been fighting for LFA. So I knew who he was, but he had moved around. So now he's in an unfamiliar matchup and stuff like that, or against a guy who I don't have points of comparison for. The beauty of what we're breaking down today is I had to do very little research. I did my usual little bit of film study to make sure I like my picks as much as I did, but I literally just opened up the book and I'm like, oh, I know all these guys, and here's the 5 I like. Also in meaningful fights too, we got a couple of quarterfinal fights in the Tip Sport Game Changer. We got a pair of fights in a vacant title tournament that we're gonna do it for, and then an actual title fight. So they're big level fights. And I'm feeling good about all of them.
That's good to hear heading into this event. And it was supposed to be even a bigger fight, Kyra. We lost a title fight in here, and it was kind of a dubious, or it was at least a controversial, right?
It was really hard for me to follow because
someone tried to explain to us in the Discord, right? One of our friends in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up his name because I want to give him credit because he also shared with me an Instagram account that did it mostly in English to try to help me out there. That Hrubik, Hrubek, who I'm assuming is probably from a closer part of the world than we are to this organization, and was able to help us out. He gave me an English language translation of what went down, and basically Panage's opponent, Kinsel, pulled out of the fight. It seemed like he was always hurt and was never going to make the fight. They then did the old switcheroo and said, here's who you're going to fight next. And he was less excited about it because they made it not for a title and 3 5-minute rounds instead of 5 5-minute rounds. He was like, why would I take this fight for 3 5-minute rounds when it could have been 5 for the title? Then he got in an argument, posted a whole bunch of videos on Instagram that I can't understand because I don't speak the same language as Money Panage. But it seems like he wants out of Oktagon, and I have to say, would not hate this guy in some middleweight main events in the UFC.
No. Yeah, so UFC is not the only promotion in the world that has conflicts with their fighters. But you don't see a lot of fighters wanting to leave Oktagon. That's the thing.
I think they pay well.
Pay pretty good, and they get to stay. For the European guys that get to fight close to home. And this tip sport tournament that we're going to be continuing to cover today, what I think we figured out was like 1.6 million US goes to the winner or something like that.
If you win all the rounds. Per round, it's a different amount each time. The finals itself is €300, which comes up just short of $500,000.
Yeah, not too shabby at all. So we'll get to all of that. Plus, this fight card's actually so strong. We're skipping over Makwan Amirkhani fight, David Zawada fight. Like we're skipping, not household names.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Both of those might be in my lightning round. So stay tuned.
There you go. We're skipping Shamrock. No.
Yeah, right? I mean, I can tell you Shamrock at -800 is maybe gonna win.
And before we move on, if you're into college, even I was going to say if you're into college baseball, you don't have to be. If you're into making money, then make sure you check out the College Baseball Experience hosted by my boy Noah Bieniek. My son Noah used to edit his articles. He's like a son to me. The tournament started last weekend. I assume it's still. Do you know when it ends, Gumby? You're a college.
No, it takes weeks, man.
All right, cool.
Yeah. We're in the regional play right now.
Noah knows his stuff. It's the key. Last name is Bieniek. Check out all his social stuff. He's always putting out content and winning content, and he hosts our College Baseball Experience on the Sports Gambling Podcast. So check it out. All right, let's get down on the Oktagon. I guess we didn't have any. Usually we like to recap how Gumby did, count all his money, but all the regional stuff that we covered has not happened yet. It's coming up this.
We're gonna have a wild next week where we recap 25 fights, which have
people love recap.
At this point in time, stayed together. So
yeah, get in the Discord basically this coming weekend because it's going to be hectic in there. People making plays on this on these fights. So this one we're covering is Oktagon MMA. It's going down June the 8th. So I think everything we covered up to now was Friday events. So this is a Saturday one. Prague, Czech Republic is where it is happening. Have you been to Prague, Gumby?
I have not.
No, okay. I wasn't sure when you made your European adventures if you were
went
there.
To
this one is
Netherlands and Belgium was the main places I gallivanted.
Okay. This one is happening at noon, so it won't get in the way with UFC Louisville, which you don't want to miss, of course. Takes place on DAZN, DAZN. I think it's through their website too, right?
You can get it on Oktagon.tv as well. I want to say it's like $10 or $15 or something like that. It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, especially since Gumby's going to get you that money back and more. Stadion Eden in Prague, Czech Republic, 9 fights. We're going to cover 5 of them, as I said, in depth, and then Gumby already has at least a couple of lightning round plays for you. It sounds like so. The other good thing here. Probably a good thing. We have odds for these fights already, so it's fun when we have to speculate because you can make money that way as well. If Gumby's speculation is way different than what the fights open at, but this time we actually have data on where these fights are at. Bet Online, I saw it at somewhere else too. I can't remember what.
Betway, I think.
Betway has it. Okay, a few books do have it. All right, we're gonna start with one of these tip sport fights, which is the 155-pound tournament. This is the quarterfinals. Mateusz Legierski from Poland versus Akonne Wanliss from England. 3 5-minute rounds, 155 pounds. Like I said, this is quarterfinals already. This is another thing. You've seen these guys already in this tournament too. So as Gumby said, a lot of familiar faces on this here fight card makes it easy to handicap. All right. Wanliss has that nickname that I don't enjoy. It's Jedi, but it's spelled with a 3 instead of an E. Whatever. He's 8-2 I have a feeling he's not even a real Jedi. Just I don't have proof yet.
Have you ever heard an interview with him? He really leans into it. And you might be able to hear one on the Top Turtle MMA podcast this week.
I have a feeling he's not even a Padawan. All right.
He makes,
let alone a Jedi. But
you're gonna love this interview as somebody who loves that Star Wars reference.
Yeah. All right, Wanliss, 8-2 with 1 no contest, 5 knockouts, 3 submissions. He finishes everyone, so I'll give him that. He's never been finished himself in a fight. Maybe he is a Jedi, or at least, like I said, a Padawan. He's 2-0 with 1 no contest in Oktagon, 4-0 with 1 no contest over his last 5. Won his last fight via knockout. That would be the opening round of this here tournament. Is not lost since September of 2020. All the good old days of lockdowns and COVID. Was regional champion at 2-1 in Bellator. 3 inches height, 6 inches reach. This is massive for lightweight. How tall is he? Do you know off the top of your head how tall this man is?
I want to say he's 6. I think he's 6'1", if I'm not mistaken. I'll get the intern on it.
Yep, it's true. 6'1". Can you imagine? You're not the thickest of guys. Can you imagine cutting down 155 pounds at 6'1"? That's crazy.
I'm a little taller than 6'1", but
yeah. And he's at even money, plus 100. So we got a good tight one starting things off. Legierski, Dynamite with no E at the end. I guess that's how they spell it in Poland. So I speak Polish, that means, right? Dynamite.
I think so.
He's 11-1. Mr. Dynamite. It should be Mr. Dynamite. Have him on your show. Tell him you should put a Mr. in front of it. He's 11-1, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 8-0 in Octagon. Very impressive. Used to be the champion. Never lost his belt. I assume this was a injury thing. Do you know any background on that?
I don't.
He lost his title. Anyway, he's the uncrowned champ. He's won 4 straight fights. Won his first round fight via submission. 1-0 pro kickboxer, 5 years younger than Wanliss, minus 130. This seems like a very good matchup to kick things off here.
It's a fun style matchup because Legierski, there's no hiding what he wants to do. He's going to want to get in on the legs here and shoot a takedown. I'm going to go dog here. I like Wanliss, and not just because he was on my podcast this week, but like this guy has shown that he is pretty damn good at keeping distance, right? Like this is a guy who, I mean, like, look, he fought a kickboxer last time out in Siraj, and that kickboxer wanted a takedown. And that's really all you need to know about Aquan Wanliss is that, like, he is so rangy. He hits so hard that he turns kickboxers into wrestlers. And now he's going to be fighting a wrestler. And I know that some people might say, well, okay, well, if he's a rangy guy, he's long, this guy's just going to get inside and take him down. The thing about Wanliss, though, is the best part of his kickboxing, at least to me, is his ability to create and maintain space. Siraj got a little bit in his kitchen, but I think that's mostly just because it was a striker versus striker match up until Siraj started looking for those takedowns. But I think he knows Legierski is going to be coming for the legs. Legierski is going to be looking for that. And with that reach advantage that he's got, with the power advantage that he's got, the technical boxing difference is going to be absolutely astronomical. I think Wanliss is just going to tag him. I think he's going to tag him repeatedly here. And I like him at dog price to get right out the gate here.
Is he going to knock him out, Gumby?
That's all he wins. And yeah, you don't typically find props. I mean, I guess if you have some of those European books, they probably offer props for Octagon. But yeah, like it's not going to be much better than his money line is my guess. Is because like if he wins, that's how he's going to win.
Yep. Yeah. So no use taking that then. All right. So we're getting in on a dog right away. This is a good transition. We're speaking of underdogs. We're going to tell you about underdog fantasy now. The NBA playoffs are here. It's going to start up again soon. I swear. One good thing is this long break. Hopefully we have 2 healthy teams going at one another. And our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting for you. The NBA playoffs. That would be Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing the pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and so much more. They have turnovers. I did a turnover play the other day. You can, triple doubles. They got it all there. So, but it's not just basketball. You can make entries of all basketball if you want, or you can mix and match across your other favorite sports, such as MMA. We've seen UFC on there. We've seen PFL on there. I'm not sure if there's been others or not, but definitely check it out. You can win up to 100 times your money if you know what you're doing. And hopefully we can help you along those paths if you listen to our show and read our articles on the sportsgamblingpodcast.com website. And it's a ton of fun, whether you win 100 times your money or not. It's more fun. It's 100 times more fun if you do win that, though. Go to their main website, which would be underdogfantasy.com. Check out the home screen. You'll see they have a daily special on there. And if you're a new customer, you get a pick 'em special in the lobby when you sign up. If that's not good enough for you, they also are running a ton of different promos, bonus cash airdrops, specials, giveaways, and more throughout the NBA playoffs. So make sure to follow at Underdog Picks on Twitter to keep an eye out. Do you have a pick for the people? You gave them Luka over for whatever his points. Points are probably going to be what, low 30s? It'll probably be set at. So you picked higher than that, right?
My guess is it'll probably be 30.5. And I don't know.
Higher on that.
They may have already put them in there, but I will also say the other one I've liked time and time again, and it was good right up until he got injured, and then it came right back to life after he came right back. I like Derek Lively's higher than on his rebounds too. And they have him in here, by the way, 31.5 right now. 31.5 right now for Luka Doncic. I still think he goes higher than that. And then let's see what we can get. Derek Lively's rebounds only 7.0. So I'm gonna say higher than Derek Lively's rebounds as well.
Yep, the kid looks like he's going to be a keeper for sure. All right, so check all that stuff out. Underdog Fantasy. They're available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, and the state where I live in, Canada. They also just launched Champions, their player versus player format in Florida. Sign up with our code, please and thanks. I'll let you know it's going to be a win-win for us. It's SGPN MMA, and we win plus. You get a special pick and first-time deposit if you use that code. Offer up to $250 in bonus cash at underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. All right, Gumby gave us a plus money dog so far, but get in on that quick because people tend to move lines.
He's already moved too. I will say you said even money on this one. He was plus 120 earlier in the week. So.
Yep. He was. It's true. I remember when I was breaking this one down. All right, we're going to go up to a name you may remember. This is not part of a tournament. This is a welterweight fight. Leandro.
It's part of the other tournament. It's part of the welterweight title.
You have a tournament going on?
Tournament. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The two unofficial tournament.
The two welterweight fights right now are a tournament for the welterweight title as well.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because the welterweight champ is currently fighting in the lightweight tournament.
Right. All right. Not on this card though, right? I don't think.
Oh, he's not on this card. Correct.
No. Okay. All right. So that would be Leonardo Silva. You know, remember him from his days in the UFC. He's from Brazil. Amiran Gogoladze. I think, have we talked about him or is just,
we have, look at you.
Yeah. From Georgia. And these guys are it's 3 5-minute rounds. As Gumby said, they are battling for a mini tournament to get themselves. So basically the winners of this fight for the belt is what you're saying. Winner of this fight and the other fight. Okay, cool. All right, let's break down this one for you first. I'm going to tell you about Silva first. Apollo is his nickname. I don't remember that ever being his nickname. Do you remember that ever being his nickname?
I don't think it was when he was in the UFC.
Yeah, because I think his URL on Tapology is something different as well. I think he had a different nickname back in the day. Anyhow, Leonardo Silva. Buscape, I do remember that. That was his name he went by in the UFC. So anyhow, we'll tell you about his resume here. He's going by Apollo now, apparently. 28-11-1 with 1 no contest, 3 knockouts, 11 submissions, never been finished in a fight. So we're 40 plus fights now. So that's very impressive. 5-2 in Octagon. He's won 2 straight, 3 of 4, and 3 of 6. Not quite as good. 0-1 in PFL. He's missed weight in that promotion. For that fight, he used to fight at lightweight. 3-4 with 1 no contest in the UFC. 0-1 the Ultimate Fighter. 2008 Pro MMA debut. 2-6 in pro boxing. Plus 115. Gogoladze, the sniper, 16-3, 8 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. So these are durable dudes. They owe us a finish. 2-0 in Octagon. That's part of a 2-fight winning streak, and he's won 5 of his last 6. 0-1 the Contender Series. Gumby, who'd you lose to? This is a tough one.
Darius Flowers.
You do know. You've been doing your research as well. Was regional champion, 2014 Pro MMA debut. 12 years younger than Silva, 4 inches taller, 2 inches of reach. So he's got pretty solid lead in all those categories. Minus 145.
So first of all, I'm going to quickly do a self-correct here. I said that the welterweight champ had moved weight classes. That's not true. The welterweight champ vacated his title. It was Kaique Brito who fought at Contender Series, lost to Oban Elliott, and vacated for that. So this is for that vacant belt. And I'm going to go dog again. I like Leandro Silva here. I like Amiran Gogoladze quite a bit. I liked him going into Contender Series. And that performance against Darius Flowers just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. Like, he wound up in a bottom position on Darius Flowers. And I'm not here to just slander Darius Flowers, but I am here to slander Darius Flowers.
That win did not age very well, did it?
No,
that loss, did not age very well.
And then like on top of that too, it was like how he lost, right? Like he wound up in a bottom grappling position, and like there was some weirdness in the TKO finish, but like also like why are you in a bottom grappling position against him if you're like like a Georgian wrestler? And I don't know that Leandro Silva is going to be the guy who is able to do everything to Gogoladze, but he does have really explosive wrestling. I think basically in this fight, you might find that both of them offensively wrestling are kind of similar. Defensively wrestling, I think Silva might be a touch better. I also think Silva is more of a threat to finish in almost every position. Whether it's grappling, whether it's strike, like he throws bigger, he looks like he's looking for more of a finish on top rather than position. Like I just think Leandro Silva is more of a threat to get a finish at all times in this fight. And as a result, like you look there and you see dog money on the like explosive guy, although he is, how old did you say he is? Is he like 40?
He's 12 years older than his opponent. He is
got to be 40 then, right? Like his Gogoladze is late 20s, I think.
38. He'll
okay.
Be, 39 in November.
So close. Yeah. And but like he looks maybe better than he did in the UFC. So yeah, I'm going to take Leandro Silva here. We'll go dog out of the gate.
All right. Hey, no one's going to complain about that, right? Not at all, especially if it hits. All right, we're going to some other fighters we have spoken of before because these are part of the Tip Sport tournament, 155-pound tournament. Acoidan, Duque, is that right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
What a name. He's from Spain. That rhymes, kind of. Mochamed. It's probably Mochamed, right? Mochamed Machaev from Austria. You wouldn't have guessed that, would you? These, like I said, these are in the Tip Sport tournament. Duque, nickname Ep580, L-P-E-I. I think we don't know what that means, if I remember correctly, right?
It's the P. I think it's the P.
Yeah. Okay, like the food P.
I don't know. It's just I'm being silly.
It does translate to that for real.
Oh yeah.
The Prince Edward Island. Maybe that's what his name is. PEI. Anyhow, he's 20-4 with 1 no contest, 3 knockouts, 11 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 1 no in Oktagon. He's won 3 straight fights. Used to fight at welterweight and middleweight. 1 no in PFL. 1 no in Bellator. 2009 Pro MMA debut. 3 inches height over Machaev plus 200. Machaev is the beast. Hence the favorite here. He's 14-1 with 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 1 no in Octagon. He's won 4. He's gone 4-0 with 1 no contest over his last 5. He won his first round fight via TKO. He used to fight at featherweight. So we got former featherweight versus a former middleweight here. However, he's 14 years younger than Duque, minus 250, and he doesn't have a confusing nickname, which helps.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Machaev. I think as much as I'd like to just, run dogs all the way down this card, the thing for me in this one is if you watch Duque's first fight, it was just like spamming takedowns nonstop and not getting a ton of them either. It just looked like it was takedown or bust for him. Like if I have to stand and strike, I'm going to lose this fight. So I'm just going to shoot a takedown every second of every round. And like he weaseled out a decision there, but I think against Machaev, I don't think that's the same path. Because Machaev, I think, is, first of all, going to be better at defending those takedowns. He's also going to be better at circling off the cage and getting away from those grappling exchanges. So it's not like a 3-minute stalling session up against the cage. And the thing for me that I really love about Mochaev is just like his leg kicks are devastating. Like he throws a really solid low leg kick. He throws to the body well. And like, it looks like whenever he lands, it does damage and his opponents are bummed out about it. And really, like you look at the look on the opponent's face every time they get hit with something, they're like, yo, that sucks. And, for a guy who's going to be just shooting takedown after takedown after takedown, you're only going to have to take 3 of those to the legs before all of a sudden your legs aren't underneath you anymore. Yeah. And Machaev is just going to cruise then. Maybe he'll let the hands go then. Maybe he'll get his own wrestling going. I don't really know which one, but I think Machaev is a rightful negative 250 favorite here.
I think I would be more than bummed out. Just taking one leg kick for sure. All it would take was one glancing blow. All right, before we move on, let me tell you about Rhythm. We're going to talk more about the NBA playoffs for you. Rhythm is spelled RITHMM, obviously, right? If you're betting on NBA player props, then you need to download Rhythm. Rhythm gives you a menu of the best player props for every single NBA playoff game. Make it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Rhythm's predictions are backed by over 3 years of data and a team of data scientists and quants that focus on fine-tuning your algorithm, give you the best shot at winning. Rhythm pairs its predictions with player prop graphs to help make you feel, even more confident in your picks, which you can make wherever you normally place your bets or DFS picks. From superstars to bench players, Rhythm finds the best player prop lines, all backed by AI data without you needing to endlessly scroll a sportsbook. Rhythm also allows you to create your own custom NBA models so you can get AI-backed moneyline spread and total picks for every playoff game. Start a free 7-day trial and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm, available wherever you get your apps. All right, we are moving on to the co-main event. This is the second half of the aforementioned welterweight title elimination tournament. David Kozma, he is from, I believe, the Czech Republic, correct? So he'll be fighting on home soil versus Ion Surdu, and he is from Moldova. So we're getting fighters from all over Europe here. 3,500 rounds, 170 pounds. Surdu is Dracul, which translates, you would think Dracula, but it also translates to the devil. I think we've talked about this before. Have we covered this man before?
Yeah, we've talked about Surdu before.
Yep. All right. Dracul the devil, 14-6, 10 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted twice. 2-2 in Octagon. He's won 2 of his last 3, 4 of his last 9. Lost his last 5 via submission. He has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Finally, you get to say that. Get sticky, y'all. 2-0 as a pro kickboxer, 3 years younger than Kozma, an inch taller, minus 110. Kozma, Pink Panther, 32-13, 9 knockouts, 12 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted 7 times, 12-2 in Octagon. He was a longtime champion for them. He was a champ from 2018 to 2022. So he's looking to get back his crown here. He's won 2 of his last 3 and 6 of his last 8. Lost his last fight via TKO. Was regional champion. Used to fight at lightweight, 2010 pro MMA debut, minus 120. So another close one on the books.
I'm going to take Kozma here. I think he's going to get those takedowns. Surdu has decent takedown defense, but it's clear that he wants this fight on the feet. One of the things I don't love about him wanting this fight on the feet is he really likes to move forward, and often that results in him getting into a clinch. If he gets into a clinch with Kozma is going to get those legs, and it's going to take him down repeatedly. And again, he's got good takedown defense, but like the bulk of the amount of times he's going to get into those situations, I just think it's going to be like a buckshot approach. Like one of those times Kozma is going to get him down. And then on top of that too, Surdu, while I really like his takedown defense, I kind of question whether or not his submission defense is there. Like sometimes it looks like he's almost baiting somebody into doing something on the mat. And then like when they go to do it, he doesn't stop it. And I'm like, he wanted them to do that, right? Like it looked like he was trying to bait an Americana, or it looked like he was trying to get them to reach for a Doris choke so he could belly down and work his way to a single. And then he doesn't do any of that stuff. So like, I don't know if he's just a novice on the ground, or if when he sets things up, he doesn't know how to, punctuate them. But I think Kozma is 100% the type of guy who takes advantage of those things. So it's David Kozma all day for me. I was a little bit surprised he wasn't a much larger favorite.
What if Surdu takes him down and bites his neck and sucks his blood?
Yeah, but
does that change things?
He's not Dracula.
Oh, that's true. The devil doesn't do that to you. He does other things to you when he gets you down. All right, Kozma is the pick here. Main event time. Gumby like that one. All right, good.
Yeah, that's good.
This is the Octagon Light Heavyweight Championship. Karlos of Vémola, a name you may remember if you're an old-time UFC fan. He's from the Czech Republic. He's fighting Attila Végh. He is from a similar flag, but it would be the Slovak Republic. This is 5 5-minute rounds. I can finally say that for the 205-pound title that Vémola currently has control over. Let's tell you about the challenger first. Pamukli is the nickname, which is like I think like a cartoon imp type character, I believe. I assume that's what his nickname is. So I've looked it up. It looks like it's actual like book or cartoon or something like that. Anyhow, that's Végh. He's 33, 9-2, 11 knockouts, 12 submissions. Very well-rounded dude. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted once, 4-1 in Oktagon. He's won 4 of his last 5. Won his last 5 via TKO. He has not fought since November of 2019. Who did he fight in that fight? And who did he TKO?
Karlos Vémola.
Yeah. Do you know where he's been? Is he been injured?
Retired, I think. Like, I think he just retired.
Interesting.
And then Vémola is like set to retire soon, if I'm not mistaken, and he wanted this one back.
Okay. All right. He's not lost fights since June of 2019, but that's easier to do when you don't fight. 5-1 in Bellator, was a champion in Bellator. Anyone remember that? Do you remember those days?
I do. He was a tournament winner, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go. All the good old days, the tournaments. 2008 Pro MMA debut, 2 inches taller than Vémola, -135. Yes, the challenger is the favorite. Vémola, the Terminator. If Terminator versus the Amp, you gotta go with the Terminator, don't you? He's 36-8, 9 knockouts, 19 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted 3 times, 11-3 in Octagon, and is a champion. He's already successfully defended his title once. 2-1 over his last 3, 9-2 over his last 11. Lost his last fight via knockout, but he went up a weight class, I believe, for that one. Or
I think
it's down. He went down to middleweight.
I think his opponent missed weight too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. So he got cheated, is what you're saying. Used to fight at middleweight. He got TKO'd, as I mentioned, by Végh 2019. Was a regional champion, 2-4 in the UFC. 2008 Pro MMA debut. 2 inches reach over Végh, +105 on the champ. Gumby.
I'm going to end with another dog here. I like Karlos Vémola. I mean, this one pretty much boils down to both guys can grapple a little bit. Usually they don't tend to. Usually they tend to stand and just throw freaking haymakers because that's the type of fighter they are. Big, muscly, European light heavyweights. They just want to come in here and just throw overhand rights and left hooks. And I hope that's what they do because it would be really exciting and fun to watch. But I don't know how you don't go with Vémola being like, you read off his resume. What is he? He's won 7 of his last 9. He's knocking people out fairly constantly. And he's fighting a guy who hasn't fought in 5 years. And I think for me, being that they're kind of all things equal, if you watch their if you watch their fighting style, they're about the same speed. They're about the same power. They both wrestle about the same amount. They both have submission games from the top. And how do you not take the guy who's been training for high-level training camps all the time versus the guy who hasn't fought since before the pandemic, man? That's a huge layoff. And then he's coming in at favorite price. Man, I can't get behind Attila Végh here. I think you have to go Vémola. And the fact that you get him at dog money is even sweeter.
It is very sweet. All right, I'll recap what he's given you, the in-depth picks, and then we shall go to the lightning round. He's got Vémola, he's got Kozma, he has got Machaev, excuse me. The only real favorite you got, big favorite at least. He's got Silva, he's got Wanliss. Gumby's come through. He's come through with the dogs for you. Hopefully this is a very profitable weekend. All right, Gumby, do you have a lightning round picks for us? Bang, crash, boom, all that stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned Makwan Amirkhani and David Zawada as names that we know on the prelims. My 2 lightning round picks are going to be fading both of them. I really think that Makwan Amirkhani looked like he quit in that last fight. It didn't look like he had what he needed to keep fighting at a high level. And he's going to be fighting Korkmaz, who, he's coming in at -200. I still think there's value there because, again, it's going to be takedown or bust for Makwan Amirkhani, and I don't know that he has it anymore, especially at the weight class he's fighting at. He's not down at featherweight like he used to be. He's been fighting up at lightweight, and I think with these, European lightweights, most of them are pretty damn good at wrestling, and I think they're just going to absolutely tool on him. So give me Korkmaz in that one, and Mateusz is the one who's fighting David Zawada. I always just think the Zawada brothers are wildly overpriced here. And it's last I saw it was +163 on Mateusz. I think he gives him a run for his money here. And at least this is a spot where you're like, maybe just fade the guy who looks like he's aging and doesn't have what he needs anymore. So give me Mateusz, give me Korkmaz, slight dog, decent size favorite.
Mateusz is a fun name to say, Gumby. I'm going to say it again. Mateusz. All right. Gumby's got you covered now. That's pretty much every fight on the card. There's only 9 fights, and you told us Shamrock was going to win, right? He's a big.
Yeah, Shamrock's negative 800 last I saw it.
All right, let's make it complete. Ilbe Tripsansky, who's winning that fight? I think that's the only one you missed so far.
Oh, Ilbe is so I don't know those two real well, but when I did watch Ilbe fight leading into that one, he's got to be a favorite, right? Negative 145.
I haven't looked.
That would be my guess. Ilbe negative 145, and I'll take Ilbe. Then you have my picks for the entire card.
There you go. The whole card there. No complaining now. You'll find something to complain about, I'm sure, but there you go. All right. Some people, right? We can be in the Discord. You can complain at us in there if you want, but usually everyone's pretty pleasant in there. So you won't really fit in if you're going to be an asshole to us. All right. That would be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Twitter, you can be an asshole on Twitter. You would fit right in. That would be SGPN MMA. Gumby runs that for us. I'm kidding. We have a nice Twitter fam as well. He's a Gumby Vreeland. I'm a Jeff Fox writer there and on Instagram. Get in my Substack, enter my UFC Louisville pick'em contest for this weekend for free. That's moneymma.substack.com. Gumby's got Top Turtle MMA podcast. He's already hinted at who's on it this week. He's going to tell us in full who's on it now, right?
So I'm talking about Akonne Wanliss, who is on this show talking about being a Jedi and whatnot. And then also we're talking to Miguel Baeza, who's fighting at UFC Louisville.
All right. Louisville.
We're appeasing the local crowd.
Yes. Talk about being a Jedi and whatnot is our title, Gumby. That's a very good line. All right. As one does, right? They talk about being a Jedi and whatnot. All right. What else can you do? You can catch us on YouTube, as Gumby said, earlier on, Money MMA. Not Money MMA. I don't have a YouTube channel. MMA Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe there. Get all your friends and neighbors and coworkers and enemies to subscribe as well. Children of all ages. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com is the place to go for all our writings and all our giveaways and all our good stuff there. What else? Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. So you can dress cool like us, and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. We got Fury FC. We haven't covered Fury for a little bit. Well, I guess we have fairly recently, but Gumby promises us this is a really good Fury card coming up, right?
I don't know if I promised that, but
you said it was good.
I think there's a couple of good fighters on it, but yeah. Anyway,
you have to watch and listen regardless.
Watch it. Just watch it.
All right, Gumby, get us out of here.
I'm Daniel Gumby Vreeland. He's the Pink Panther, Jeff Fox, and we will see you tomorrow.